Well, hello there. My name is Captain Brad Koch, and I work in the Public Affairs Office here at the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. We really appreciate you joining us today. Today is a very unique opportunity for us. We are at a unique period in time here, not only with the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, but in the city of Charlotte as well as in our country. Traditionally, these press conferences are held in front of media. Well, I am coming to you here by myself with Lieutenant Brian Crum, and we are going to do this a little bit differently as we are working through this pandemic that is affecting our country. What we have done is we're going to share some very important information with you about a homicide case back from January. And prior to this press conference, we had sent an email to all the news outlets asking them to email us questions that they would traditionally ask at the end of the press conference. Again, as I said, Lieutenant Brian Crum is going to provide an update, and he will also read and answer the questions as we go through them. Again, we really appreciate your patience and understanding through all of this, and please give us your feedback, whether you found this information valuable and whether you thought that this was a good use of your time. So thank you for that. With that, I will turn it over to Lieutenant Brian Crum, who is the lieutenant over our Violent Crimes Division, which includes the Homicide Unit. Lieutenant Crum.
So this update is for the case that occurred originally on January the 11th of 2020. The initial call for service came in at the 1400 block of Atando Avenue. A car was located off an embankment, and two victims were located inside deceased. Those victims were C.O. Javon Joseph and Asa Shannon. During the course of this investigation, we determined that the incident actually began in the 5400 block of Cambridge Bay Drive. That's in the University Division. During that investigation, detectives were able to identify two suspects early on. Thus far, we have charged Everett Connor. His date of birth is 9/26 of 1987, as well as Stephen Staples. His date of birth is 4/21 of 1989. So as this investigation has progressed, detectives have continued to leverage our resources and do just good old-fashioned police work. We were able to identify an additional suspect. Today we can announce that suspect is Terry Connor Jr., born November the 8th of 1986. Mr. Connor has been charged with 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping, robbery with a dangerous weapon, conspiracy to commit robbery with a dangerous weapon, and first-degree burglary. As you all may know, Terry Connor is already charged in connection with the murder of Scott Brooks. So he was in custody at the time that we obtained these warrants at the Mecklenburg County Jail. Those warrants were served on him this morning, and so he's been charged. This investigation is ongoing. We're still looking to see if there are other people potentially involved with it. It's obviously a very concerning case, and it's more concerning when we're able to link somebody to multiple cases. It's important that we get information from the community to help with this. So we ask, as always, that people call Crime Stoppers or the TIPS line in order to provide detectives with more information. So I got a list of questions from some of you in the media in response to our initial request. So I'm just going to run through those now and try to answer those. The first question is, can we clarify the spelling of Connor? The correct spelling of Mr. Connor's last name is C-O-N-N-O-R. I can confirm that Terry and Everett are brothers. That was the second question from y'all, is if they are brothers. One of you asked, what evidence led you to charge Terry with the murders of Asa and Javon Joseph? I'd say we can't get into the specifics of that at this point. I can tell you that we have used a lot of the resources that we have, forensics, getting out in the field and just good old-fashioned police work, interviewing people. And as a result of those leads that we followed up on, we were able to charge them. The motive of this crime, the question was, what was the suspected motive for this crime? This was robbery. We believe that the victims were targeted for a robbery. What relationship between the suspects and victims? Or what was the relationship between the suspect and victims? We're currently working through determining how they were linked. We don't believe they directly knew one another, but as I previously stated, the victims were targeted by the suspects for this robbery. Is gang activity suspected, and do you believe Terry Connor is in a gang? What I would say is that These individuals are not participating in a traditional gang like most people would think of, but they certainly are unified towards a common goal or towards a common criminal enterprise. So in that way, they are somewhat functioning as a gang, but not your traditional street gang. Are you looking for other suspects? Yes, at this point, we're certainly open to the possibility that there are other people involved. I can tell you detectives are still following up on additional leads, which is why it's so critical that we get help from the community to call in to our Crime Stoppers line or our tip line and get that information. Is Terry Connor being seriously considered as a suspect in other homicides? Sure, certainly. Anytime we link somebody to two, we're going to follow up on every potential lead. So I can't say a specific case that they may be being looked at for, or Terry Connor's being looked at for, but I can say that we certainly are looking into that possibility. The next question, when did you develop Terry Connor as a suspect in this crime? We've been aware of Terry Connor for some time. I can say at least a couple of months, if it's with regard to time, and we were aware of him prior to the Brooks investigation. And that's the last question I have. Captain.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant Crum. He had mentioned that you could call Crime Stoppers if you have any additional information. That number is 704-334-1600. You can also call and speak directly to a homicide detective, 704-432-TIPS. We really hope that you found this information beneficial as we work to try to get you the most pertinent and important information as timely as we possibly can. As I close, I want to mention something that we had spoken about earlier this week, one of our Facebook videos, and we had talked about a way that you can help us. Now, certainly, if you are a victim of a crime, first, we are very sorry that you became victimized, but if it is involving about 6 different cases, you can file a report online. Now, the cases that, if you are a victim of either a communicating threats, harassing phone calls, a damage to property, stolen property, a theft from vehicle, or if you lose your driver's license or passport, you can file all of those reports online. You go to cmpd.org and you will see at the top of the page there where you can file that report without even having to speak to an officer and without even having to see an officer. You can do that on either a mobile phone or a laptop. Now, certainly if you would like to see an officer, we are here 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days, regardless of the weather, regardless of what is going on outside, whatever virus might be, we are here for you, and you can always call, and we will always respond. Additionally, if you have any information, or you would like to report individuals violating the 10-person mass gathering, you can do that online as well at cmpd.org. You can also report price gouging there as well, and you can also report violations of the stay-at-home order. All of those can be done from the comfort of your home, from the comfort of your computer. Again, please leave us comments below if you found this information valuable, and if you would like us to continue to share this information with you. With that, I close it, and know that we are here for you, and we appreciate your time. Have a great day.